Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Great to see all these names and faces. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, wonderful Wednesday, middle of the week. Awesome, which means really nothing to us. Our week is like, it's not really a week. Our weekends are weekdays, weekdays are weekends. So Wednesday is just like another day. We're still working Saturday and Sunday, might take off a Monday. It's kind of all over the place when you're living that entrepreneurial life. But it is Wednesday, middle of the general average week as we know it. Good morning. I hope you guys started off your Wednesday great this morning. I hope you woke up grateful and in good health and with a sound mind. And you took some time to look up and say thank you for the air in my lungs. And even if some people are feeling a little bit down, thank you for the ability to see and hear and walk and breathe and think clearly. Even the small things we must be grateful for. Gratitude actually adds to our health. So if you do want to take a little bit more control of your mental and your physical health, start with gratitude. Gratitude is medicine as we know it. A couple more people jumping in, which is great. But I'm going to be talking about leadership today. John Maxwell gave it away a little bit, He started with some biblical stuff in the beginning. But that second video that I pulled up was just a very short one, which I was hoping I could find the longer version when he talked about leadership starts with leading yourself, because that's really what I want to talk to you guys about today is where leadership really starts. A lot of us want to become leaders. It's in our vision for ourselves to become leaders. And we're so busy kind of thinking about how we can lead others, we kind of skip and forget about our own selves. And then we find it hard, to be leading others. And we start suffering in that time that we're trying to lead others. And deep down, we're struggling and we're having challenges and we're not talking to anybody about those challenges. And then what ends up happening is we get burned out as we're trying to lead others. But really, that's because we've forgot or skipped leading ourselves first. So in leadership, there is like a prerequisite. You know how in school you have prerequisites before you move on to the harder classes, you got to do the more basic classes and then work yourself up. It's very much the same way in leadership. With leadership, before you can lead any other person or a group of people, you really have to know how to lead yourself. And it all starts from within. What does leading ourselves look like? I wrote some notes down just from some other trainings I've been on recently and some things I was watching this morning when I woke up. Leading yourself is keeping little promises to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't be like, oh, you know what, the day got busy. I said I was going to get outside today and get some fresh air and take a walk, but the day got busy. Maybe tomorrow. Boom, you just let yourself down. To you, it's like, oh, it's the schedule. The schedule got busy and, things like that and blah, blah, blah. But subconsciously, and that's where leadership actually starts. It starts in your subconscious. People think leadership is a more forward thing, but it's actually very deep. The seed of it starts very, very deep within you. So something as little as, I'm going to take a walk today, and then you don't, is a subconscious letdown for yourself. It's, I didn't follow through with something that I planned on doing and I said I was going to do. So that little tiny subconscious within you is let down. And that seed of letdown, that seed of I didn't follow through grows. Just like good seeds grow, bad seeds can also grow. Something else I wrote down, setting daily goals. Setting daily goals. That has a lot to do with being proactive and not just reacting to your day. Waking up and being like, gotta go to work, I gotta go do this. These are the list of things on my list that the world gave me. Most of the time, we're being reactive to the world. These are all the things that the world gave me to do today. I gotta go to work, gotta feed the kids, gotta do what you normally do on your daily basis to go make some money and build your lifestyle, basically. But it's not the things that we usually give ourselves. We get so caught up doing everything for everyone else and everything else, then we put ourselves last. And the things that we'd like to set up for ourselves, we don't. Or we say we don't have time for, which again is subconsciously letting yourself down. You're not idolizing your own self and your own needs and your own goals by making sure everything else is taken care of and being reactive to the day and not being proactive for yourself. So setting daily goals, it could be work goals, it could be money goals, it could be business goals, it could be health goals, it could be mental health goals, it could be spiritual goals, it could be relationship goals. It doesn't always have to be, again, the goals that cause us to chase the lifestyle we're looking for, or the money that we're looking for, or the success that we're looking for. Lots of times our identity is wrapped up in our level of success, our level of financial success, our level of, I don't want to have any hardships in my life. And then we equate that to our identity. I'm having all these struggles and challenges. My identity must be low. I must be a loser or something. What's wrong with me? But that's because we're identifying our identity. We're identifying that with money and success and work and career and where we thought we would be in these areas at certain points in our life. But we're kind of forgetting about everything else, or we're not prioritizing everything else because we're being reactive to life instead of being proactive. So setting daily goals, start with the things that are very important to you that can supersede some of the other career stuff. Do you want to grow spiritually? Do you want to grow your relationship with your higher power? Do you want to be more stable and have a stronger level of faith where people say, walk on faith? Do you have that? Do you want that? And if you want that, maybe that could be a daily goal. Maybe your daily goal is, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to spend 20 minutes, with my higher power, whatever that may be to you. I'm going to spend 20 minutes reading the Bible. I'm going to spend 20 minutes meditating. I'm going to go outside and put my feet in the ground and spend 20 minutes being grateful. Whatever that is, that's going to grow you spiritually, make that a daily goal. And then as you achieve that, you're keeping those promises to yourself. You're starting to grow your integrity for yourself. You're starting to lead yourself. Set daily goals. Win each day. We can't win the day when we have no goals set for that day and we're just being reactive to everything else that's coming in. We have to actually set goals in order to feel at the end of the day, we've won the day by achieving those goals that we set. Lots of times also people think we have to win the year and win the next 5 years, but then we don't give any credit to ourselves for just winning the day, just getting through that day and feeling good about it and overachieving in that day. Start with the day. The day turns into a week. The week turns into a month. The month turns into a year. The year turns into 5 years. But you got to start with the day in order to make yourself feel like I am achieving something on a daily basis for myself. So start with winning the day. Win your self-talk. If you want to lead others, you've got to lead yourself by making sure you're talking nicely to yourself, that you're encouraging and motivating and inspiring your own self, that you're speaking light into yourself. You're speaking hope. You're speaking gratefulness. You're speaking power. You're speaking greatness into yourself. And that's your self-talk. That's not the, oh, why did I do that today? That was dumb. Oh my God, why can't I get this done? That's negative self-talk. You're not leading yourself properly. Would you talk that way to someone you're trying to lead? Oh, why are you doing it that way? That's so dumb. Why couldn't you get this done today? What's wrong with you? Right? You would never think that's a good leader or manager. So why do you talk to yourself that way? Again, sometimes we want to be leaders and then we end up feeling like, oh, I'm not a good leader. It's really not because you're not leading other people well. It's because you're actually not leading yourself well. So you will never believe you're leading other people well, because deep down inside, you don't feel good about how you're being led in your own life. You could be leading people in such great ways and everyone thinks you're awesome. And everyone's like, wow, this person is so great. They're such a leader. They're such a great manager. But deep down, you're the one thinking you're not. And that's because it starts with you. It starts with leading yourself first. Integrity, honesty, and hard conversations. These are also characteristics of great leadership, not just for others, but again, for ourselves. Are you true to yourself? Do you find yourself with high integrity? Are you honest with yourself? Are you honest with other people? Do you hold good boundaries for yourself? And do you hold those boundaries in love? Not like in a mean way, because sometimes we do it in a mean way because we feel like we need to be defensive and this and that, but really we're just too afraid to be vulnerable and have hard conversations in a loving, positive way. We can hold boundaries in a very mean way, or we can hold those same boundaries in a very loving way. It's just about how you go about it and becoming vulnerable enough to have hard conversations. And a funny thing happens when we find ourselves being able to have these hard conversations with people. We find ourselves afterward being like, wow, one, that wasn't as hard as I thought. And two, I feel really good about that. I really feel like I was mature. I had the tough conversation, whether they took it well or not, I was true to myself. Boom. Integrity just rose within you. You feel more honest with your own self. You're having hard conversations. Now you're ready for the next hard conversation. Giving yourself direction. John Maxwell just talked about that. Again, being proactive in your life, in your daily life. Sometimes we have to feel like we have to give ourselves direction for the next 10 years. What job am I going to have in the next 5 years? What's my life going to look like in the next 10 years? Some people can't think that far, and they're actually only thinking about the week. But I want you to even shrink that down to the day. What direction are you going in today? Again, setting those goals, but leading yourself in the day so you're not being reactive. What time am I going to wake up? What time am I going to have breakfast? What time am I going to go for that walk? What time am I going to spend 1 hour with my children being present? What time am I going to get into work and be completely focused? What time am I going to come back from work and have some family time? What time am I going to give myself some me time? What time am I going to make sure I dedicate to achieving the goals that I set for myself today? Scheduling that in is very important too. Sometimes keeping it all in our head, that's not being proactive. That's still being reactive. It's all in your head. Write it down, become accountable to it. If it's written down, it's out there. Now you've got to become accountable to it. Put it in your calendar. What else did I talk about here? Yeah, I think I talked about all the ones that I wrote down. Now, let's change all these ones that we just talked about for ourselves. And now let's transition that into leading others. So we talked about self-talk. How important is your self-talk with yourself? Now, how important is that talk when you're talking to other people, when you're leading them? It's one thing to be a manager and delegating people, giving them tasks. Do this, you need to do this, you need to get this done today, you need to do that. It's another thing to lead them to a point where they want to get it done for themselves and for you. They want to show you that they can achieve what task that was given to them. They want to do it not just for you, but now they want to do it for themselves. There is a thin line between managing people and leading them. Leading them is talking hope, encouragement, inspiration, motivation into them. It's seeing the potential in others. Leading yourself is believing in yourself, having that self-belief that you are great, that you are worthy, that you are enough. Now, when we lead others, we're saying the same thing to them. I believe in you. I have hope for you. I see your potential. It's the same exact thing, whether it's for us or if it's for other people. But we cannot achieve leadership for other people if we are not leading ourselves first, because eventually we're going to have imposter syndrome. We're not going to believe it anymore, or we're going to get burnt out. Those are the three things that happen when you're not leading yourself first. And that's an ongoing journey. Leading yourself is an ongoing journey. There is no destination point. There is no, okay, I've achieved the person I want to be. And, no more growth from here. We're done. Eventually, you're going to start sliding backwards because there's always more room for growth. There's always more room for more leadership, for growing to a different level, a level you haven't seen before, you don't even know exists until you continue to move upwards and progress forward. Leadership is progression. That is really what it is. You're leading yourself towards something forward, not backward, forward. You can't lead and stay in the same spot. You just can't. You'd be leading in a circle, right? Nobody wants to lead in a circle or be led in a circle. People want to be led forward. So there is no destination point of I'm done, I've achieved, I'm where I'm at, I'm who I am. That's what people are going to get. At that point, you're no longer fighting for yourself. Same thing with other people. If you finally lead someone to a point, okay, you're done, you're awesome, you're at the level you want it to be, basically you're saying, I believe you can't go any further. I believe you're done, you reach your maximum potential, right? So there's never a destination point. It's always an everlasting horizon of growth, of who's the person I can't even envision anymore, because I'm just continuously growing. And I see that for other people also, right? Leadership is also exemplary behavior. Once you're leading yourself, you're keeping promises to yourself, you're building your confidence, you're saying, wow, I know I can achieve even more because look what I've already achieved already that was hard. It's exemplary behavior. If you want to lead others, you have to lead yourself so other people can see how you're leading yourself, how you behave, how you think, how you speak, how you believe, how you represent yourself. What is your level of integrity? How you have hard conversations, how you set boundaries in a loving way, right? People are watching that, and people will see that as a form of leadership. Even if you haven't led them or spoken to them or have much interaction with them, they're going to see that as a form of leadership because that's something they want to achieve within themselves. So now they will be more open to receiving your leadership. Leadership is empathy. You cannot lead without having empathy and compassion for people. You cannot see people's potential if you don't have empathy and compassion for where they currently are. Potential means you're not there yet, but you have to have empathy to meet them where they are and see where they're going and the potential that they have, right? Leadership is humility. Some leaders think they can lead with power and where my role is, and I'm the manager, I'm the head person, you've got to basically listen to me. That's not leadership. That's not humility. And that's just management. That's power. That's entitlement. Leadership has none of those characteristics. It's the exact opposite. Leadership is all about empathy, compassion, grace, and humility, and being humble. Do you have those characteristics in you now? If you don't, that's fine. Potential, right? Work on those things for yourself. Give yourself compassion. Give yourself empathy. Give yourself grace, right? Believe in yourself and your potential. Talk nicely to yourself. Leadership is servantship. Leadership is about serving others. Leadership is also about serving yourself, right? If you're not serving yourself in a positive way, what does that tell yourself? You're not worthy. You're not enough to be served with gratefulness, with hope, with love, with compassion, with empathy, with grace, right? That's basically what you would be saying. To serve yourself first with all these goodness, all this good traits, all this hope and love for yourself, and keeping promises to yourself, and really giving yourself the gift of discipline. It's a gift because it allows you to see your greater self eventually. And then you transition that and you start to serve others in those same exact ways. You serve them with your great self, with your best self, with your humility, with your humbleness, right? Leadership is discipleship. We disciple people through serving them, through serving them in good ways. Servantship isn't like, what can I get you? What do you need? What can I get you? What do you need? I'm a server. No, that's not servantship, that spiritual servantship of greatness. Servantship is, I know what you need to become the person you want to become, the person that I know you can become. So I'm going to help serve you to achieve those things. What can I help you with? How can we take a look at your schedule? Let's write your schedule out today. Let's spend an hour together and really take a look at your schedule, see what we can move around, see how we can start to be more proactive. Let me sit with you. Let me hear you. Tell me about some of your challenges that I can maybe serve you in, help you, guide you in, lead you in, right? Have grace for you in. We all have challenges. How can I help you embrace those challenges? Instead of being like, I don't want any challenges, that means I'm a loser. What's wrong with my life? Why do I have all these challenges? Instead, let me serve you by teaching you a way to change that mindset and embrace the challenges and believe that, hey, the more challenges, the stronger I'm becoming. I don't want an easy life. An easy life means I'm not growing. I'm not being challenged. Everything comes easy. And we all know nothing great comes easy, right? So I'm going to serve you by helping you learn a better mindset to be proactive with those challenges instead of reactive and victim mindset, right? That's how we serve people with the proper tools and resources, encouragement, motivation, talk to help them become stronger and better. And we disciple them. The only way to disciple in any area of your life, whether it's work, spiritual discipleship, friendship, relationships, marriage, we disciple our children in parenthood. The only way to disciple properly is, one, you've got to first be leading yourself. If you're going to disciple, you better be discipling from a good place, from a righteous place, from a place of, hey, I don't have it all together, but I'm trying, and I have integrity, right? And I want the best for me and everyone else around me. And then teaching those people what it takes to get to that place, showing them. I mean, best way to teach is to show. We could talk all day about it, just like what in parenthood. For any of us who are already parents, you know it does not matter what you say. You could talk till you're blue in the face. Talk. The moment you do something different than what you just said, that's what they're going to do. They're going to do exactly what you just did. You could be like, don't eat candy. Candy's so bad. Shouldn't be eating candy every day. If you eat candy and they're watching you eat candy every day, they're going to eat candy every day, regardless of how much you tell them it's so bad for you and it's awful, this and that. They're watching you do it. So they're going to do what they watch. They're going to do what they see. As humans, we don't listen first. We watch and then we copy, especially as children. That's just human nature. Your people who you want to lead, it's like little children. You want to lead a ginormous team of people, they're watching you. You could talk all day long. Oh, you shouldn't waste your time watching TV. You shouldn't waste your time drinking too much or partying too much and this and that. If you're out there doing all those things, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to listen, but they're still going to go do what you have done and what they have seen, right? People can act like they're listening all day long, but then they're just going to copy the actions that they're seeing in you. So leadership is about exemplary behavior. Someone just said it, leading by example, not leading by words. Words are just there for the motivation, inspiration, and, the self-talk and the compassion and all of that. But in the end, true leadership is about the example. It's about the action. Otherwise, we're just going to be like a great person to talk to and a nice person. I like talking to this person. They make me feel good. but they haven't made me better, right? There's a big difference between making people feel good and then really helping people get better. And that difference is your actions, your exemplary behavior. All the stuff are like the prerequisites for yourself and for others. In the end, what it comes down to, the very last step is the exemplary behavior. Are you taking your own advice? Are you following through? Are you executing on everything you've been telling yourself? All the good self-talk, all the belief, all the compassion, all the love, all the grace. And then from there, are you now being proactive? Are you putting that in action? Are you having the hard conversations and not avoiding them? Are you learning to set boundaries in love and not in defensiveness? Are you setting daily goals and making sure you're following through with them? Are you winning each day by doing that? Right? Those are the action steps. And then now, are you teaching people to do that same thing? Are you holding them accountable? After you've given them the great talk and all the tools and all the resources and all the belief and all the hope and everything else, are you now holding them accountable? Are you checking in on them and saying, hey, what days did you win this week? How'd you win them? What were your goals? How'd you achieve those goals? How'd you feel about it? How are you proactive this week? Give me some examples. Let me see your schedule. What's it look like? Did you stick to it? Did you have any hard conversations this week that were difficult? What were those like? How'd you grow through that? Right? Did you say no to something hard that you really wanted, but you knew it wasn't good for you and you said no to it? What was that? What was that like? How disciplined were you this week? Did you fast from anything? Like, those are the action steps. And then if not, then we figure out why and how do we do it better next week? And then boom, back to accountability. And that's how you lead. You lead yourself. You do all these things for yourself. You hold yourself accountable, right? You make sure you follow through. And every time you don't, you start again. And then you move that into other people. You give them all these great tools and resources. You hold them accountable in a good way, in a loving way, in a challenging way. We can challenge people and still love them. That's okay. That doesn't mean we don't love them or we're a bad friend and a bad leader. Challenges are good. Remember, it's a good thing. Challenges grow us. So your leader must challenge you. If you want to lead, you must challenge the people you're leading in a good way, right? So that's it for today. I hope you guys got something great out of that. I hope you start with yourself today. I hope you lead yourself and give yourself the honor of leading yourself and becoming a true leader of thyself, because you are worthy and you can lead yourself and you have everything it takes to love and to lead yourself into greatness. And then when you're ready, you go out there and you disciple and you lead people and you serve them and you give them the tools that they need and you pour hope into them, love, grace, compassion, and accountability, right? All right, you guys, have a great week. Take care. Be good to yourself. Be good to others.